You got to go deeper, because if you know who they are, do research on each person. Look at their background, what they care about.
Today's show is so good.
But number one, I've never seen an intro like that.
It is my hope and desire that not only will episode 30 still be fun, but episode 300 will be even more fun. You are made for something great, so go and be awesome.
Ten seconds remaining.
Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Renee Hastings and I'm your host of Renee Speaks. Y'all, today's show is going to be so fantastic, and that is because of our amazing sponsor, Executive Help Now, your premier partner to private equity funds and portfolio companies delivering operational excellence through embedded virtual teams, cutting-edge technology, and deep industry expertise that scales with ambition. From streamlining operations and managing your back office to producing podcast shows and keeping everything organized, our team is here to help you thrive. If you're ready to make your life just a little bit easier, hit us up at www.executivehelpnow.org. Y'all, I cannot wait to introduce to you our amazing guest. Born and raised in Hong Kong, Swire Ho immigrated to LA in 1996. A proud Asian American fluent in Cantonese, Mandarin, and English, he's known for his expertise in project management, creative problem solving, and business communication. Swire Ho has received the SCORE Award for Small Business Success, and he was named LA's Area Chamber of Commerce Ambassador of the Year and recognized in 2023 as one of the hashtag online 18 best promo pros on social media. He's also shared his insights on promotional products in more than 100 podcasts. Outside of business, Swire Ho is a certified SFG1 kettlebell instructor with hashtag Strong First and holds multiple government certifications, including LSBE, WBE, DBE, MBE, and SBE. Y'all, put your hands together for Swire Ho.
Hi, Renee. Thank you so much for the introduction. You do it a lot better than I do. Like next time you have to introduce me anywhere I go.
You are kind. You are so kind. I truly appreciate you being with us here today. It is really great to have you. I know that you have received so many accolades for all of the different things that you have done in the public relations industry and field, and you're just basically setting the tone and the pace for how people need to get out there and get seen and be heard. Mm-hmm. So I just truly appreciate you and all you're doing to make things better for us out here trying to get it right. So why don't you go ahead though, Swire, and tell us, first of all, a little bit about who you are, your journey, how you got started, and what we can do, the best thing we could do to make the greatest impact in our public relations and to create powerful publicity for our businesses.
Okay, so I'm trying to condense 20 years in less than 30 seconds, okay? Let's hear it. I started out, I trained as a recording engineer. So I worked in the entertainment industry. Somehow I got into the production side of it. So I started a company called Helmet Production. We produce CD and DVD for record label, film company. Along the way, they asked me, we're going on tour or we have red carpet. Do you guys do hoodies, t-shirts, hats that we could sell on tour? So that's how my way stumbled into the promotional product industry. And hindsight is 2020. In 2013, a local competitor wanted to buy us out from the CD and DVD business. So we said yes. Looking back, that was a great move. And from since then on, we focus exclusively on promotional product and helping different companies to stand out, to connect with the audience. A lot of time to build better relationship with their employees. So love to hear your question and answer some of the topics that you might have.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I truly am so grateful for your experiences because it's from those humble beginnings that I think we learn the greatest lessons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one just kind of builds on top of the other. And publicity is such a powerful tool for growing a business. In your opinion, what makes it so powerful?
I think to answer that question, and that's $1 million question, right? If everyone knows about what you do, know about how good your company is, then it's easier, right? So when you go out there, people already want to buy from you. But how do you actually get to that point? I learned it from another expert before. Their input for me you only have to be the expert for your industry, not the actual expert with all the credential, but what people perceive as the expert for the industry. So that's why I brand myself. If you see everywhere that I do Swire Ho, hashtag the promo guy, because sometimes I still have people having problem pronouncing the name Swire. So I think promo guy is catchy. So it is a phrase. And at the same time, I'm branding myself. If you now Google Swire, hashtag the promo guy, the exact term, you see all the things that I want you to see because I've used that word for my article, for all the podcasts, for anything that I wrote for work-wise, you see it there. So, and it's an interesting exercise for you based on that question. If you Google your company or your name right now, what are you going to see on Google? Do you really want to see those results?
Right. Absolutely.
It's scary sometimes.
We definitely want to stay on top of that because sometimes what we find when we Google our company names, we don't want that out there.
Yeah.
Like maybe some other company has something similar. How do we fix that part? Like if that's something that we really don't want, is there an easy way to fix that?
I think picking a unique name, and not everyone can be Swire, right? Sometimes you have a name that is more general, or already maybe there's a way bigger company using the same name. So those are the most difficult. That's why you want to niche down and maybe use a hashtag or use a keyword or key phrase or using your mission statement on every single communication that you do. So if people see those keywords or even the key phrases, they know that it's you. Right? For example, if we talk about Walmart, we know their tagline. When we talk about other industry, then you already know the tagline. So that's why, big company, they want to brand it this way. But on your personal side, even if you are, one person, trying to make it in the big world out there, you can brand yourself. But I would suggest you have to niche down, because even if you are, let's say you're a motivational speaker, there are thousands and thousands of motivational speakers out there. How can you niche down so when people think about the topic that you love to talk about, they thought about you right away?
Right, exactly. I love that advice. So be unique in how we, number one, name our company and how we hashtag so that people associate that with us personally. I think that is so super important. Did I get that right or did I miss anything?
Yeah, I think you have to understand yourself, because a lot of time, same with when we go into sales, like I ask my client, who do you want to target? They said everybody. It's really tempting to be everyone. If you're, let's say, insurance person, if you're a restaurant, even if you sell a specific software, you want to target everybody, but not everyone will be your client. So that if you can answer who am I targeting? So these are the people, for example, look at your accounting system with the last year, who give you the most business. Look at your top 10 client, look at their profile. Who are they? What kind of demographics are they? Is it gender specific? Is it industry specific? Then you actually answer all the questions. Okay, I'm more popular among this group of people. So maybe when I brand myself, I need to perceive in a certain way. These are probably the type of platform that these people are going to be on. So maybe I want to be on more this platform instead of, maybe if I'm more business oriented, I'll probably use LinkedIn. If you're more social lifestyle brand, maybe TikTok, Instagram. So you can actually answer all the questions that you have about where should I brand myself? How should I position our company? By answering question, who are you targeting?
Right. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. Figure out who are you targeting and who are your biggest clients. So there's a little bit of analysis that might need to be done, some reporting that you might need to pull to find out who's actually your best clients. Where did you find them? How did they find you? And figure that out, and how you got seen, and what's resonating, and making sure that you're on the right platform based on your business. So I love that on TikTok and Instagram, that is so great for all the images and the video for luxury type businesses to share who they are and what they do. It's perfect for that. But if they're like a business to business type of industry or service provider, go to LinkedIn, go, to those other places where the business people are and who could be your ideal client. Did I get that right?
Yeah, especially if they're your top 10 client, you better know who they are. Right. So you would hope that if you call them, like, I think you should even call them to survey them, and you better have a good relationship that they will pick up your call, right?
Absolutely.
And really ask them, maybe take them out for lunch or give them something, a discount, for example. Can I use 10 minutes of your time to ask you some question? And these are open-ended questions because we have choices in the world. Right? They could choose to buy from your competitor, but you want to ask them question. You have a lot of choices out there. Why did you decide to work with us or buy from us? So, and you wanted to write it down, right? All the points they're taking is your competitive advantage. And then ask them the same question we just talked about. Where did you find out about a company? Was it on a magazine, networking event, social media, or whatever that might be? Then you want to double down in those platforms, because if you have more than one of the top 10 telling you the same way that they found you or the same way that they like working with you, then that's your advantage.
Right. Oh, I love that. That is so good. So now, as we're thinking about, taking our ideal clients out to lunch and getting all this intel in terms of, why they stick with us, why do they continue with us, why do they not go to our competitors, and giving us all these golden nuggets that we can then use for future promotions and to meet them where they are and continue to do those things that they enjoy. That is so critical to maintaining not only the publicity or to be known, but to stay top of mind of our current clients, because a lot of business is nowadays by referral business. I heard a recent statistic that like 400% greater chance of getting into a company through a referral than by just randomly trying to find somebody on a social media DM or something. So it's really important that we understand who we are, what we're offering, what makes our clients stick with us, and what differentiates us from our competitors, and keep doing more of that so that they will refer us as well.
On top of that, when you are at the discovery call, if they allow you, you better record it and really analyze everything. Try to prompt them to speak about some of their challenges. What are keeping them up at night? What are their pain points? If your company can serve any of these pain points, then you probably have a customer for life. And if you know that, in a similar industry, these are the pain point that they mostly have, then you become more resourceful. Because I'm in the promotional product business. A lot of people consider us as a commodity type of business. But with the relationship, I try to go past that because now I know that they need promo item for the event. They don't have time to search for it, but they need to look good in front of their board member, their boss, whatever that might be. And they need someone reliable to get things done on time. So these are go passing, the price point, right? That they could search on thousands of other promo companies that can offer. So I found out that, the people all of me for my case, right? I call my client they're busy. They don't want to search for it, but it needs to look good, right? When it arrived, and it has to be on time. So I was able to meet them where they are. So then we develop a better relationship.
Right. Oh, that is so smart. And I love how you said, what are their pain points?
Mm-hmm.
Figure out what's causing them the most grief. and I think that that's a great comment for people to remember. If you can fill that gap, if you can fill that need, then you are going to stay first and foremost top of mind to that particular client, so that they won't have to think hard. They won't have to look hard for you because they know that you have taken this interest. You are meeting them where they are.
Yeah,
So,
especially for the top 10, you got to be their partner. Like if they are in trouble, who is the first phone call they will call? I'd rather they call me and I refer them or say we don't do it than them not to call me.
right, exactly. So like case in point for this situation where this high-level CEO was caught on camera with someone who wasn't his wife at an athletic event.
Uh-huh.
How would you have handled that situation if you were the first person that they called? What advice would you have given them, or how would you have handled that? Because that seems like some bad publicity.
That is bad. Like it's still going on right now. People are still trying to spin it a different way. I would actually admit it. If it is true, like we still don't know if it's true or not. There's still a lot of rumor circulating. I would admit that, and I would explain what happened. At least you get some sympathy, or you get some people accept that, okay, they made a mistake, maybe. We don't know yet, right? But they made a mistake, and now they are coming forward to actually admitting the mistake. There are a group of people that will appreciate that, because now whoever that may be on high power, leaders, right? Sometimes they made a mistake, but then they try to cover it. They try to spin it so that it's not their mistake, it's someone else's fault. But if you actually admit it and say, moving forward, this is the way that we will address this, or, in that situation, then what I will do to make sure that it won't happen again. So I think they might still be, in place with the organization if I could be, judging out that, because rather spinning away or try to hide, admit it.
Right. I think that is great advice. Admit it when you've blown it.
It's on national TV. You got to admit it.
Right. Because it's hard to deny the cameras. Right. You can't believe your lying eyes. Isn't that the line in the song? But when the camera catches it, you see it with your own eyes, you hear it with your own ears. It's hard to deny something that is, so out there and so blatant. But so when you admit it, first of all, you humanize yourself. You're like, look, I'm just a man, or whatever. I'm just a woman, whatever. And you come clean, and maybe you get some sympathy from those who, can empathize with your situation. But it will do you more harm, I think, to try to spin, or to try to deny, or to try to make it something that is not factual. So the truth is always the best way.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, 100%. So on the flip side, so say something happened really great in publicity, like you did something and you were recognized for it. Why is it such a powerful tool for growing a business?
That's a good question. But a lot of time on the individual side and on the company side, we don't like to talk about our achievement. It's kind of, I feel blush when you even talk about my bio. I wrote the bio myself, right? But when people talk about, some of the things that you have done, or maybe highlight really something that, you're really passionate about, like we don't want it to use that as a promotion. But going back to the expert, example, people want to work with the expert. People pay a lot more to want to be working at the expert. By being expert is how they perceive that you are an expert, because there are, again, many people may be more qualified than you are, but use me as an example, like promotional product company, most people can't even name 5 companies that do promotional product. So, and by being out there and by going on different podcasts and appear on social media, then people see Swire's head, see Swire's face, maybe remember my hashtag. Then when the time comes that they might need to consider promotional product, would you rather go with someone that you constantly see or appear on the platform that you have been on, or do a Google search and hope for the best of trying to find a good company? So it's not one day that you get to that point, but you have to be consistent. If it's something nice, how can you, people used to use the word spinning it, right, to your advantage, but now people love to use the word storytelling. You got to be a good storyteller, with an ordinary thing that you don't really think about, but if you work with the right team and have a good storytelling or copywriting team, then they could write stories.
Right. Oh, I love it. And that is so important. I love how you brought that up, the storytelling piece, because every business has a story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the simpler they can make that and the easier they can make that to understand, the quicker they can build a client base, because people associate your name with a quality product with a simple message. And it just all makes sense. And it's like, of course, I would want to use Swire Ho's company for promo products, because he's the best and he's out there and his story is, so relevant and relatable. And he understands me. He gets me. So that's, I think, so fantastic. So as we think about your career and how you've evolved in this area of publicity and helping people tell their story, what is one thing that a business owner, portfolio company, say a portfolio company is going to a funder and to pitch the business, what are the elements of their story that they need to get right in order to appeal to an investor?
That's $1 million question, right?
Right. I know, we're all ears.
I think you have to do research, right? So a lot of times, as for example, you have been doing the same pitch for years, for example, right? If you're, master presenter, then, a lot of us sometimes will go to an event or even go to a talk. We wing it, right? We're just going to talk about those key points and people are going to love me. People are going to love our content. So, but in order to do, what you said to impress the investor, you got to go deeper, because if you know who they are, do research on each person, look at their background, what they care about, maybe check out their social media. Then, going back to what we just talked about, they're your ideal person, right? You're trying to impress. So know who they are and craft your story to one that relate to them. Because if you are, quoting way behind, or if you're using too many industry jargon, they might be an investor, but they might not be the deep expert like you are in your particular industry. Sometimes I think when you pitch, especially if it's somewhat technical, they overwhelm the investor with all the technical jargon, and maybe they don't want that. They just want to do the story. I like, have you watched Shark Tank?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Regularly.
Yes. A lot of times they will actually buy on the story and they see how the person react. And if that person can really handle the additional investment when they come in, is that person going to just go away, or is the person going to blow all the money? They look at the character for the person, but then they also look at the story. Is it connecting with what their portfolio looks like? So before you go on to the pitch, do your homework. Make sure that the story that you're saying it are related to who you're presenting it to.
Right. Oh, I love that. That is so important to know your audience, know who you're talking to, Do your research. That is so important because your story is going to be your story. And somewhere along that thread, there's got to be some kind of relatable situation because, people life, life just be lifing. and people can relate to situations and circumstances. And so when you can tailor your story and resonate in a particular place and space with what other people's experiences may have been and some kind of common thread, then that is what will get people engaged and want to be a part of your mission and what it is that you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and it's helpful to be a likable person, right? Sometimes when we see the person present, maybe I just don't like that person. I don't like the way that they talk. Like sometimes it just happens. Maybe they have a really great product or services, but you just don't feel connected. So that's why it goes into like the psychology field of it. But if you do your research and if they're an investor, nowadays we can all be very resourceful with tip of a finger. You could bring up the whole bio, see what they have done, or maybe see if they have talked before, see how do they present, is this something that you can relate to? So it goes deeper. So with the research, but that's something that you really have to dig into if you try to impress someone.
Right. Absolutely. 100%. And now with, like you said, the press of a button, you can find out anything about anybody in like 2 seconds. So there's no excuse. But yes, and I love that you have to be a likable person. People have to catch your vibe. There has to be something between the two of you where they're just feeling your energy, you are feeling theirs. And it's just a good feeling, a good situation, or you want to be a part of this person's journey. You want to be a part of this person's experiences and pour into them just because of who they are and how they present themselves and how relatable they are. So I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So as we get ready to close, I cannot believe the time has just flown. Swire, what would you say is the absolute best advice that you could give to an entrepreneur or portfolio company who wants more publicity? Where can they put those publicity dollars that will have the most impact?
I'm sticking with what we've been talking about, throughout this episode is, knowing who your ideal clients are. You could switch that to maybe you try to impress an industry or impress a group of people. Who are you trying to impress? Like, what are you trying to do? And then how well do you know the market or the client or the person that you are trying to impress? Like, the more that you know, all the questions that follows, you can actually answer by yourself. If you know that they only, if you're pitching an investor, you only find them a golf course, go to the golf course. And if you're trying to impress stay-home parents, go to maybe soccer game, go to, a basketball game, then you meet all of them. So you can actually answer what kind of magazines do they read? What kind of social media platform are they most engaged in? If you want to go bigger, what kind of influencer do they listen to? Right. So if you can collaborate with the influencer, or if you appear on certain nonprofit, maybe you could actually break in deeper and penetrate deeper than your competitor, because they always see you at the functions, events, magazines that you're going to. Maybe the first day, they will ignore it, but throughout the time, you're actually using your storytelling to paint the picture for them. This is who we are. This is the message that we're in. And, we'd love to work with you. So I think it's like a long game, but to answer the question, really dig deep, like, who are you trying to target? Who are your ideal audience? And you save money too. Then you don't waste money, go to places that they're not at. Then you could already eliminate those and focus just on the things that matter to you the most.
Right. Oh, what great advice. If someone wants to stay in touch with you and learn more about how they can actually apply this for themselves using your tips, your tricks, your resources, how can people find you and stay in touch and continue on their journey with your expertise behind them?
You can always Google Swire Ho hashtag the promo guy, so you'll find out the things that I do. If you want to learn more about promotional product, you can go to our website at garudapromo.com. I'm very active on LinkedIn, so find me on LinkedIn. Again, do Swire Ho, hashtag the promo guy. You'll find me.
I love it. Hashtag the promo guy. I love that. So easy, so quick to remember. Hashtag the promo guy. You want promo stuff? Go hashtag the promo guy. I love it. Fantastic. And so as we get ready to wrap up, I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you sharing your gray matter with us to help us understand how we can truly use publicity to become powerful in our industries and stay top of mind to our ideal clients. Swire, you were made for something great. So go and be awesome.
Thank you, Renee.